Hey there, Aries, and welcome to your week of November 29th, 2021 General Tarot reading. We're going to be looking at your energies coming into this week, some possible challenges for you, some possible outcome cards for you as well. Hopefully that'll be helping you out. And to better help me help you, we're going to be clarifying all those cards and tying everything off with an oracle card at the end. So hopefully that's all going to be going real good for you, Aries. Though remember, these are general readings, so this might all resonate with you. Some of it might resonate, or maybe none of it will. If it doesn't resonate or parts of it doesn't resonate, don't try to make that stuff fit. It's just not part of your message, or it's just not your message. So without further ado, Aries, with all that cleared up and underway, let's see what we got for you. We got the Two of Pentacles here. We got the Nine of Wands. And we've got the Four of Pentacles here. All right, I see you in a very cautious energy this week. Very cautious. With the Nine of Wands and the Four of Pentacles here. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. Someone who's been beaten but not broken, right? Someone who's been on the front lines too long. You know, you're hurt, but you don't want to be hurt anymore. That's why that wall's been built up. Hello, Spike. How are you doing? Crossing the paths here. But with that Nine of Wands, you know, just you've been wounded, you've been hurt, you don't really want to, you know, be back out there on the front lines. You don't want to get hurt again. With the Four of Pentacles, it's a very cautious energy. It tells you to do things the safe way, do things the careful way, right? It doesn't want you to go out there and, you know, take any risks or chances at this time. And with the Two of Pentacles as well, that's very much you being like trying to maintain this cautionary sort of energy where you're just not taking any risks or any challenges, and you're trying to just like, okay, let's kind of get stabilized here first before we try to recover or do anything else here. So very interesting energy to be in this week for you, Aries. All right, so let's take a look at some possible challenges for you this week, see what's going on, see if anything interesting is trying to crop up and ruin your calm here. So we got the Chariot, sign of Cancer here. Got the Lovers, sign of Gemini, very interesting. And the Four of Wands, wow, okay. Very interesting. So we got the Chariot, sign of Cancer, so you might be dealing with a Cancer. May have Cancer in your chart. And we also have the Lovers, sign of Gemini. Same thing applies there too. So very interesting. I see that with those cards and the Four of Wands coming up here. And with this cautious sort of attitude you're taking, for some of you, are you a little hesitant about getting married? That's kind of something I'm picking up here. The Four of Wands is definitely it can be a card of marriage or just in general happiness here. And the Lovers, of course, is your partner, your soulmate type person, right? That big time connection here. And the Chariot's about racing forward towards something, like going out and going after it. So is that like some of you maybe I feel are maybe a little hesitant and don't want to get married at this time? Like you're kind of like, maybe that kind of idea has been floated around by your partner. And you're just kind of like, oh, no, that's not for me, you know. I don't want to get locked down just yet. Or is this kind of a situation where this is something you'd like to go towards, but again, you're just kind of having roadblocks here at the time? Maybe your partner's kind of like, no, I don't want to get married. Maybe, is that it? Or is it maybe a situation where you feel like you've been hurt in love before, and now you're going to really be approaching that super cautiously, right? Maybe this is sort of a thing where you really like back here we're kind of wounded, we're cautious, we're on the defensive, and now here it's kind of this like that love, that end goal that we all kind of want. Is this kind of something where you're kind of been put off a bit from that potentially? It's going to be different for everybody as these are general readings, but very interesting here, very interesting. So let's take a look at some possible outcome cards here for you this week. We got the King of Swords and the Ace of Swords popping out for you. Very interesting, very interesting. We're having a mind over heart look here, apparently. All right, let's take a look at your last card for your potential outcomes before we get into clarifiers. And the Six of Swords too, interesting. Yeah, okay, so this is a situation where you kind of have to look at things logically more than you need to look at them in an emotional way. As the Chariot for instance, is a water sign. Cancer is a water sign, very emotional. A lot of emotion between two people in that regard as well. With the King of Swords here, the King of Swords is extremely analytical. It can be, the King of Swords wants you to kind of look at things in a very much of like an objective perspective. Doesn't want you to kind of put in like how your emotions or anything like that in something. They want you to very much be like, here's the facts, right? So I feel like that might be a good way for you to proceed forward here. Here are the facts. Like, this is it, right? That might ease your mind or ease your partner's mind when it comes to marriage, if that's the case for you folks. Or if it's for yourself, if you've just gotten out of a bad relationship and you're very hesitant before you want to consider a future one. Again, like, be very analytical and objective about it. Don't be like, hey, like, let's just like jump back into this or something. Like, let's think about this. Are you actually ready for this? Like, is this something like you're actually ready for a new relationship, or do you have the time for one even? Right? Like, that's the thing with myself. Like, currently single myself, and like I just between my work week and like my hobbies and tarot videos, of course, as well, I just really don't have time for a relationship. So it's not necessarily something that I want to get into, because it's not fair to the other person, of course. So, maybe that's the same case for you. If you're looking at prospectively getting back into the dating world, maybe you need to look at things from that kind of a perspective. But when it comes to marriage as well, like if we were talking about like maybe you're hesitant or your partner's hesitant, it might be kind of a case where you need to kind of analytically kind of talk to them and talk to yourself. Like, is this something you can afford? A big fancy marriage, or is this something you have to, you guys can afford? Is it something that you both want? Is it, like, that's a really simple one. Like, if one of you doesn't want to get married but the other one does, it's like, well, you can't force the other person to come around. Like, you kind of have to just let them go, right? So with the Ace of Swords here too, we got you overcoming any challenge you face. So like I say, you can overcome this, whether it's hesitance on your side, your partner's side, or whether it's getting back into a relationship or not. And with the Six of Swords here as well, it's just saying we're in rocky waters now. Maybe things are a little uncertain, but we can see the calm waters ahead. So don't worry too much about that. It's just a matter of working forward and working on ourselves and working on our situation and such. So, and maybe just being patient too. So let's get into some clarifiers for you here, Aries. Thank you so much for making it this far. I appreciate it so much. We're going to get you your clarifiers, and we're going to tie everything off with an oracle card at the end. So you're going to want to stick around for that. But thank you again for being here, Aries. And let's just see what we got here for you. All right. Let's see what kind of clarifiers we got for you. We got the Sun, happiest card in the deck. We got the Ten of Cups. Wow. And we got the Page of Pentacles. All right, I feel like these are on your mind big time, the Ten of Cups and the Sun. I feel like that's things you really want or you feel like are missing in your life. The Sun, happiest card in the deck, everything coming up Millhouse. Just good happiness overflowing. I feel like where we're kind of wounded and we're kind of playing it cautious and playing it safe, it's kind of like we're trying to build back up to that. Same with the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is all your dreams coming true. You're happy, your dream partner, dream home, dream kids. If kids are something you want, or dream life, whatever that looks like for you. Different for everybody. But whatever that is, it's like, I feel like that stuff's on your mind. And with the Page of Pentacles here, it's sort of like you're trying to figure out, how can I get to that point, right? The Page of Pentacles is like, all the pages are information gatherers, but the Page of Pentacles really is like, I need to plant seeds and grow them, right? I don't care how much time it takes. I want the end goal of being the Sun. I want the end goal of being the Ten of Cups. I'm planning for this stuff. So that's awesome. So I feel like you're in the right mindset. Like you are, you and whatever you got going on. It's just whether or not you're going to go through with it or not, or whether or not you're going to be patient or not. So let's take a look and see what we got for clarifying your challenges here. We've got the Nine of Cups, very interesting, the Knight of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. So I feel like with the Nine of Cups, two people, Nine of Cups energy, you get the Ten of Cups. So, like with that coming up in your challenge, again, I feel like that's maybe for like a lot of you, it's probably you kind of being like that, kind of like, I'm not quite ready, I'm not fulfilled, I'm not satisfied, there's still stuff I like to get a little further along before I move into that. So again, I just don't worry about that. That'll happen with time, right? With the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Swords, you maybe feel like you have to rush to end things quickly or rush to get there. Maybe your partner's pressuring you, or maybe it's the other way. You're pressuring your partner to kind of like get to this point, to get to that Nine of Cups, to get to the point that they want to marry and things like that. And that's no way to be, right? Like, don't be forcing somebody to do stuff. I've been in a relationship like that before where I had a partner who very much wanted me to like fall in love with them. They were just like, they quickly fell in love with me apparently, and they wanted me to like, within a couple of weeks be telling them I love them. And it's like, that's red flags for me personally, but I don't like, emotions don't develop like that. It takes time. It takes time to grow. It takes time for them to kind of naturally bloom, right? You can't force emotions. You can't force people to feel things that you want them to feel, and people can't do the same thing to you. They can't make you elicit an emotion that you don't genuinely feel, right? So let's see what we got for your potential clarifiers for your outcome cards. All right, see what's going on. We got some cards flipping through the deck, twisting and turning, shucking and jiving here. Let's see what we got for your clarifiers here, Aries. Got the Six of Swords again. See, there we are, the Two of Pentacles again, and the Knight of Pentacles. There we go. That's that patience I was talking about. That's that working hard. That's that taking our time here. And Six of Swords repeating and the Two of Pentacles repeating, that's a big time message. Pay attention to that stuff. When cards repeat in a reading like this, it's like, pay attention to that message. So again, with the Six of Swords, we're in that rocky waters, but the calm ones are coming. We can't just teleport ourselves over into the calm waters. We got to work our way over. It's going to take some time. You just got to be patient, right? With that Two of Pentacles repeating again, just where it's on both sides, like it's in your energy, and it's also in your outcome. I feel like that's just you needing to, work. Just keep the work going, maintain what you got going, try to maintain the stability and stuff, and make sure things are going good. It's like not necessarily a time for change, right? And now it's more of a time like, let's maintain the status quo here. And with the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight versus the Knight of Swords, who is the fastest. The Knight of Pentacles very much is like the Page of Pentacles, who has that plan and like, let's stick to the plan and move forward. Let's let things blossom and grow naturally, like one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. Doesn't matter how long it takes to get to our destination. We're going to get there, right? It doesn't matter. Versus like the Knight of Swords, who will just impulsively run and just go for it here. I'd like to point out too, a nice little, what I feel is a little interaction here. Is the Knight of Swords is facing backwards, whereas the Knight of Pentacles is facing forward. And to me, I read that as the Knight of Pentacles or the Knight of Swords is moving in a detrimental way, like moving backwards, regression, right? Whereas the Knight of Pentacles is moving forward, is moving towards the future, is moving towards abundance and growth, right? So very, very important. I feel his patience is a virtue. I feel like you're just gonna have to take your time and just kind of maintain right now and not worry about like moving forward and forcing things at this time, Aries. So let's take a look at your oracle card to tie everything off, see what we got for you. Appreciate you being here on this nice snowy day here in Canada, Aries, or wherever it is. Maybe it's snowing where you're at too. So thank you again for being here. Hope this is helping out. Hope this is resonating. Let's see what we got for your oracle card, Aries. All right. We got the Moth Spirit, surrender now. Yeah, you got to surrender to what's happening now, right? You can't just, fast forward your life. You can't just make things happen and teleport and, jump to the finish line, right? You got to surrender to like the now, to like what's going on in front of you, and just enjoy that, right? I feel like too many people, and like I say, that relationship I was in before, too many people are focused on like, let's get to this point. We got to be here. We got to be here now, right? We got to hit this. Like, this is where I want us to be. And that's like, instead of saying like, let's just enjoy our time. And that way, when we naturally get there and naturally have that conclusion, we're going to be all the better for it. And it's going to feel so much better. And it's going to feel right. So that's awesome. That is awesome, Aries. So I hope this has helped you out. If you want to help out the channel, though, Aries, you can hit that like button down below. You can subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign videos, too, after this one. Hopefully that all helps you out. Thank you again for being here, Aries, and I hope to see you in the next video.